Do Spurs really need to let us know if they're sticking with Ange Postecoglou? Could be more expensive to give him the sack, to be honest, in more ways than one. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. Here are today's daily Tottenham news headlines. Kaveh Solakol from Sky Sports has come out and said that at the moment Ange is on holiday in Greece with his family. If Spurs decide they're going to stick with him, they don't have to announce anything. He's their manager. What are they going to say? Either there's going to be an announcement he's leaving or it's business as usual. Team Talk report that Tottenham Hotspur have joined the summer battle to sign RB Leipzig attacker Xavi Simons. Chelsea are also interested. Turkish publication Hürriyet are stating that Fenerbahce are intensifying their best efforts to bolster their midfield, with Tottenham Hotspur's 28-year-old Mali international Yves Bissouma emerging as a prime target. Lucas Bergvall has come out and said, as he's talking to the club, "I've been getting better every day. I'm still here training, rehabbing, and I've done that for about 2 weeks. I'm going on holiday soon, but I just want to make sure everything is right." And then he goes on to talk about his awards this season and his Europa League winners medal. He said he's been crazy. He added, I've learned a lot this year, both on and off the pitch, just training every day here with some of the top players in the world, the staff. I'm so grateful for this season and for everyone helping me to achieve these awards. It's such a big honour. I can't really describe it. It's an amazing feeling and there is more to come. And Football.London have released another excellent article today in terms of what we need in the transfer window. They say that with the goalkeepers set for the foreseeable future with Vicario, Kinski and Austin tied down to long-term contracts and Josh Keeley and Luka Gunter high-quality young stoppers, the first area that needs attention and at least one addition is the fullback department. Pedro Porro, Destiny Udogie and the versatile Jed Spence look set for next season, barring any unexpected huge bids for their services over the summer, with all three having plenty of time left on their contracts. Archie Gray can also play in both fullback roles if required, but Tottenham will want to use the teenager in his more natural centre midfield role. On the left, Sergio Reguilon has departed after his contract came to a close. With the first team's longest serving player, Ben Davies, there has also been plenty of talk about the option to extend his contract by another year, but nothing concrete on that actually happening yet. Leeds United are believed to have interest in reuniting the Welshman with his compatriot Joe Rodon at Ellen Road, and Spurs could well take up that as an option and ensure they get a fee for the long-serving defender. It is likely that Spurs will look to sign another fullback regardless, likely to be one comfortable on the left to ensure balanced backup to Udogie there, even if Spence can play that role well. When it comes to centre-backs, Tottenham will go into this coming season with plenty of them on the books, yet still potentially need another top-quality one. At this moment, the North London outfit have Christian Romero, Mickey van der Ven, Kevin Danso, Radu Dragushin, once he returns from his cruciate ligament injury, and Davies, if his option is taken up and he sticks around, as well as the incoming Luka Vuskovic and the returning Ashley Phillips and Alfie Dorrington. Romero is the one where the biggest transfer doubts lie. He has been linked heavily with the move to Atletico Madrid and admitted he wants to play in La Liga at some point. Spurs can offer him Champions League football next season though, and will expect a hefty fee if clubs do come in for the Argentine, who has 2 years left on his contract. Tottenham will look again at the availability of Mark Gay, a long-term target at Crystal Palace, who they made an approach for in January. The England defender has only a year left on his contract at Selhurst Park, so will be a man in demand, but Spurs can offer Champions League football. They're a far more attractive prospect than they were a fortnight ago, let alone 5 months ago. Much will depend on whether Gay would be guaranteed to start each week as he would elsewhere, and Spurs will have a list of centre-backs to turn to. The issue, of course, is who the head coach will be and how that affects matters. Tottenham have also been linked with Everton's Jarrod Branthwaite, but the 22-year-old will cost a hefty sum to prize away from the Toffees. If Davies were to leave this summer after 11 years at the club, then Spurs might look for another versatile defender who can play both as centre-back and at full-back. The teenager Vuskovic will be expecting a decent amount of game time as the season wears on, and Spurs will have promised him a healthy amount of minutes when they saw off competition from Europe's top teams to sign the big Croatian. With 4 competitions and a packed schedule, there should be opportunities. There are plenty of decisions to be made in Tottenham's defensive ranks in the months ahead before the main summer window closes. And finally, a report in the Telegraph states that Tottenham Hotspur chairman Daniel Levy will face a compensation bill in the region of £4 million if he decides to sack Europa League winning coach Ange Postecoglou. And that would be on top of the £2 million bonus Postecoglou earned for ending Tottenham's trophy drought and guiding Tottenham into next season's Champions League. Postecoglou still has 2 years remaining on his Tottenham contract, and it is understood the terms of his exit before that date were agreed prior to his appointment 2 years ago. It is understood that Postecoglou has now returned to England from holiday and will soon be provided with clarity over his future. Tottenham are facing the biggest shake-up of the ENIC era, with Daniel Levy's right-hand woman Donna Cullen and the first team coach Ryan Mason already confirming their exits. It is anticipated that those departures will be 2 of many, with Postecoglou waiting to hear if he will be sacked, Chief Football Officer Scott Munn's future in doubt, and questions arising over Matthew Collicott's role as Operations and Finance Director. Vinay Venkatesham started work as Chief Executive Officer this week, and he has already advertised for a business operations lead to work under him. Here's my thoughts on all those stories. Firstly, Carve from Sky Sports. He's quite right. You know, do they need to announce anything? But as I said, there's so many rumours in the press. If I was a club, I'd just want to come out and quash it. However that may be, whether it be, I don't know, telling some journalists about it, and so the journalists can write about it. Do the club need to come out? Possibly not, on the website and actually say, a man that's got a job gets to keep his job. But I think the club do need to come out and say something somehow. Carve obviously was talking about Postecoglou still being on holiday. I believe he came back today, in fact. So hopefully we'll hear something within the next 2 days. Javi Simmons here, Team Talk, talking about that. Really good player, actually. Really good player. But I just can't see us signing Javi Simmons, to be honest with you. It cost a lot of money. But definitely a really good player, a really good attacking midfielder. I just can't see this one coming off, but, you know, it's another transfer rumour. And news from Turkey about, obviously, Yves Bissouma being fancied by Fenerbahce. It's difficult with Bissouma. You know, if you'd asked me 3 weeks before the final, I'd have said Bissouma definitely out, but he played superbly in the final. Goes to show that he can produce the Yves Bissouma that was at Brighton when needed. So let's see how that one goes. But I wouldn't, you know, I'm a betting man. Would I say Bissouma's going to go out this summer? I think he probably will. But let's see. Really pleased for Lucas Bergvall and his awards this season. And excuse me, his Europa League winners' medal, obviously taking pride of place on his wall, on his mantelpiece. And good to hear that he's recovering quickly and recovering well. Hope he has a good holiday. He's definitely deserved it. And the article from Football.London talking about what we need in the window, primarily in defensive options. Absolutely agree with all of this. They obviously talk about Archie Gray playing at both fullback roles. I'd like to see Archie Gray get more game time in the middle of the park. He's obviously played all across the back in every position, but and he can definitely do a decent job there. But I really want to see Archie Gray primarily deployed in the centre midfield. I think we're light at left back as well. Destiny Udogie, the only natural left back, and of course Jed Spence. can play either side. I think the club probably have to decide who Jed Spence is a backup to. Not many defenders can play ably well on both sides. Jed Spence is one of those. Can we find another player that can do that job? Possibly. But for me, I think just get another left back in and let Jed and Porro fight it out for right back. And as he's mentioned, you know, we are well stocked actually in the centre back department, but could well go in the market if Romero decides to go. So, you know, Romero, Van der Ven, Danso, and Dragushin. Davies, we still don't know what's going to be happening with him. Vuskovic coming in, have a look at him. I don't think Ashley Phillips and Alfie Dorrington will be fancy, but you just never know, especially if a new manager comes in. Either way, they're all going to get looked at in pre-season. Very, very interesting though. Again, talking about Mark Gay here, I don't think Gay will be coming to Spurs unless he's guaranteed first team football, to be honest with you. And unless Romero goes, I don't see that actually happening. But we'll see how that goes. And finally, the Telegraph stating about Daniel Levy paying a compensation bill in the region of 4 million if he decides to sack Europa League winning coach Ange Postecoglou. Goes back to what I spoke about right at the beginning of this video. Could be expensive to pay him off on top of his bonus for winning it, but more expensive in that it seems to be that a lot of more players are coming out in support of the manager, Ange Postecoglou. How expensive is that going to be in the dressing room if we get rid of a manager that the players clearly like? But if you ask me, I still think there's something going on behind the scenes at Spurs, something big. We've seen changes, Donna Cullen stepping down, Ryan Mason leaving, he was probably going to do it anyway. But there is big changes at the club, something's going on. And I think it's going to be a few days, or hopefully a few days, before we all find out exactly what. But, you know, rumours circulating online that Daniel Levy's going to step down. I'm not sure I see that coming. But who knows with this club? Who knows? Who knows? But get down in the comments, let me know what you think is going on and why. I say why it's taking so long for the club to announce this. As I said, they don't actually have to announce it. But what do you think is going on? Do you think anything's going on? Or am I being paranoid? Anyway, that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Come on, you Spurs.